Welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kirsten Foss from Refreshed Businesses Coaching and Consulting, and I specialize in business strategy for salons and spas. And one of the strategies that I often see with spa owners, salon owners, or even in the wellness industry period, is practitioners feeling really, really tapped out energetically. And so today I'm interviewing Arne Pederson, and he's an energy worker, he's a hypnotherapist, and he knows a lot about how to manage your energy for service providers. So welcome, Arne. Thank you for joining me here. Maybe you can tell me a little bit more about your background and how you came to be coming to talk to us about energy management for the practitioner.
Okay. Hi, Kirsten. It's really nice to be here today. And how I got into this was I've always been really intuitively empathic to other people's energy. And over the years, this led to me becoming, through my own healing my challenges, an energy healer and a hypnotherapist. And then when I started seeing clients, what happened was I started noticing that I was really getting my energy drained, and I was having a lot of problems with just starting the session, getting worried, thinking in my head too much. And I had a few clients that I literally had to not work with them. I had to refer them to other clients or other practitioners. And I thought, wow, well, if I can't actually handle the energy and I get drained and I leave these sessions feeling like I can't even do this, then this isn't going to work for me. So I had to figure out what to do. And so I set out figuring out, well, what are the causes of these problems? And I started one by one working them out. And I came up with this system that I have now.
Nice. So your business is called Awareness and Health.
Yeah.
And you specifically work with holistic practitioners, right? Is that what you call them?
I work with holistic practitioners and people that are working with other people and getting their energy drained. So it could be any type of business where the person is just in the field of working with other people, and they're really wanting to give of themselves and really wanting to be really connected to the people that they're working with and to help them.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I personally, and you know my thoughts on this for you is that, I think this is an absolutely brilliant service that you're providing for service providers and, energy practitioners. But I just see that, in my daily moving around in my life, I meet people that are working in corporate, they're working in government, they're even working in retail. And, when you're working with people, whether it's coworkers or clients, there's an exchange of energy. And if we don't know how to manage that, that can really empty our tank.
Absolutely.
So my first question for you is, we're talking to spa owners, and we're talking to estheticians, to massage therapists, and to hairstylists. So how should we prepare ourselves? Like, what would you suggest we prepare ourselves for our day, for our work day, in order to protect our energy?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really good to take a little bit of time before. And one of the biggest things I find is making sure we have enough time in between clients, because otherwise we end up being rushed. So really simple thing there. And taking the time to connect ourselves to the room and to make sure that we're grounded ourselves and we're actually grounded in the present moment, and making sure that the room is just really set up in advance for the client that we're going to be working with. And just energetically bringing energy in and making sure that we're connected to the ground and energetically we're filled up with energy, because then we're going to be bringing in this attitude into the session that's going to...
Well, just based on what you just said about having time in between clients, I see that as a big broken piece in the salon and spa industry, because as owners, we sell time, and once time is gone, we can't get it back. And so there is this push to, have our staff back to back with clients, and the staff usually hate it because by the end of the day, they're so exhausted. So I'm just thinking now, as far as a spa owner, the fact that, they could be inadvertently, what would be the word? Supporting that energy drain in their staff just by booking them back to back. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. We do this all the time in this industry, and it could be tanking our poor staff's energy.
Yes. So that old saying, quality over quantity, trying to just have a fit better, higher quality in there instead of trying to stretch in as many people as we can get in, could overall in the bigger picture be better for us, for our businesses.
So how would you suggest somebody who's new to the idea of energy and like grounding themselves, but knows that they feel exhausted at the end of the day? How would you, so if they're in their treatment room getting ready for their client, how would you tell somebody to ground themselves before their client comes in?
Well, the first thing that I would recommend to them is, first off, making sure that they finish with the previous client, because then that way they're not taking the energy of the last session in with them. So to make sure any details they need to finish up, that's completed. And the second thing is to make sure they're grounded in here and now. So touch your feet on the floor, whether you're standing or sitting, taking a moment and taking in a few deep breaths and just really feel the sensations in your lungs and just grounding yourself back into your body. And this is also bringing energy in. So as we're actually feeling our lungs expand and contract, imagine bringing in energy and bringing in light into our lungs and filling our whole body up with energy and feeling our feet connected to the floor. So just being grounded in here and now is going to make a huge difference.
Okay, perfect. So I've always been taught, well, at the beginning of my aesthetics career, I was taught to protect my energy. When I first started as an esthetician, there was, my first job, I was actually quite worried about the longevity of my career, because I would go home and on my way drive home, and sometimes I'd have tears because I've been thinking about a client that I've worked on. Sometimes it just felt like so much to handle. And so I was told to protect my energy, to imagine that there is a white light around myself, to not let any kind of negative energy permeate that. What are your thoughts on that protective idea?
I've heard that for so long, protect your energy. And it's so important for us to be able to maintain our energy and to not let it get drained. But at the same time, in this kind of field, we're really wanting to connect, and that sort of that connection with our client is everything in this kind of a field. The people that come in, they want to feel that we're supportive to them for whatever reasons they're coming in, and they want to feel that we're really there for them. So when we're putting up a protective bubble, I want to just offer an alternative way of looking at this, that we're kind of doing this. We're putting our hand up with this bubble. I want my energy protected, but at the same time, we want to feel this connection with them. So we're wanting this connection, but we're going like this at the same time.
Right.
So there's a little bit of a contradiction there of our intention. So if we bring that light in, what you're saying, and surround ourselves with light, but at the same time, if we surround our client with light and we allow their energy to move into us and move through us, and we get used to feeling our feet flat on the ground, and we're breathing in deeply and more calmly, their energy will move into us and through us and out into the earth and just recycle into the environment.
Okay.
And that way we can still pick up intuitively information as it moves through us, but it's not stuck there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And that I can just feel that makes a difference, rather than having that almost like an invisible wall up. Yeah. So what about, most of us are working with other people, never mind just our clients, but with team members, maybe with an employer, or maybe with our employees. And, there's always seems to be, some sort of conflict that comes up between team members, or maybe your staff, between you and your staff. How do you, what do you have to say about that as far as the people that you work with?
That could be a really challenging thing, because sometimes we're in a circumstance where it seems like there's nothing we can do about it. We have to work with this person, but it feels like they're draining our energy. We feel like we're butting heads and it's just not working and it's draining us. So if very similar to the thing that I was just talking about with the energy sort of bubble, and allowing our energy field to expand and to connect it to the other team members and seeing them as their light. And if we see with that intention from our heart and we see them as our light, that'll help them to express themselves from that higher place as well.
Right. And so if they're engaged, if we're in kind of conflict, however slight or big it is, usually what happens is our egos start getting engaged with each other, and we don't want to see the light of that person. So yeah, that's a great perspective.
Yes. And that really helps us step out of our ego so that we're actually seeing the higher vision of what we're wanting. If we can actually bring that in our mind, what is it that we really want out of this? Well, actually, I really want for all of us to come together more as a team and to really accomplish something. And if we hold on to that higher vision and perhaps before the meeting, look at it to say, what would that higher vision look like? What might it feel like? And then we put that intention out there and bring that light in and see everybody as being part of that, as a collective team, even though they may have a very different opinion, considering that they're actually an integral part of this because they have the capacity to see it differently than me and to pick up something I might have missed, and that can help us to see it together as one whole team instead of we're separate from somebody that we're challenged with.
Yeah. And that takes a certain amount of self-awareness to be able to, look at somebody you're in conflict with as an innocent or as light. It's not easy. And I think even the most enlightened people still feel like, I just want to be mad at you and I want to blame you and I want to, I feel righteous, self-righteous. And so, what you're suggesting is not necessarily an easy fix for protecting your energy, but it's certainly something to think about, consider, observe in themselves, and toss it around in your head a little while and see how that feels with you if you're in conflict with somebody. Those are great points. Great. So I know that you have a free gift on your website. What's that called again?
The 4 tips to manage your energy with clients. So it's just tips on how to do the very simple processes so you can become more aware of the main points that in the areas that we get drained, and to do things that help make that a lot easier for us and to make things flow better and help our energy stay more connected better and feel better after the session as well.
Cool. So how do people find that free download?
If they go to my website, awarenessinhealth.com, and just right on the very main page, it's right in a box. You can go to the energy management page, or right at the very top. I'm looking at the screen here, so it would be the top right of the screen. There's a circle, and it says free gift, 4 ways free tips to manage your energy with clients, and just fill in your name there and your email address, your first name and email address, and you'll get the free tips. Nice.
So that they can take that and do some practical tips, because I think you actually have some action steps there. It's not just kind of theory. You have action steps for people to practice.
Yes, and it'll be helpful. And if you go through that, and if you have any questions or anything, any of you who are watching, then just send me an email about that, and I'd be happy to help you with that.
Okay. What's your email?
It's info@awarenessinhealth.com.
Excellent. Awesome. You are a plethora of energy and a plethora of love and light, Arne. I love connecting with you. Thank you so much to take your time out of your day to chat with us.
Oh, you're welcome, Kirsten. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity for this as well.
Absolutely. This is so needed in our industry. Because we are giving all the time, it's so easy actually, I can't remember the last time I found this out, but there was a stat for estheticians who graduate, and if they're still in the industry, and not very many of them are still in the industry 5 years later. And I know that this is one of the issues, is that they're just, it's taken so much more energy in their day to give than they thought, and they're just exhausted and want to do something else. So can you imagine if this really gains some momentum, and it's so helpful for the longevity of our careers and our passion?
Yes, it's helpful for everybody.
Absolutely. We just want everybody to get along.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much, Arne.
You're welcome, Kirsten. Thank you.
I'll talk again soon.
Okay, bye.